Hey, what's up? This is Hans with Request for Music, back from holidays, and want to go and make some nice fat synth pad today. First of all, I want to show you what I've been up to in the meantime. I'm working on a program that's going to convert DX7 sounds to Synclavier, and at the moment it's looking like this, and I can read a bank of DX7 sounds like here. So I've got a whole bank, a whole lot of banks of DX7 sounds that you can just find online, and when I load them in, I get all of the parameters from the DX7 bank and split them up in all of the presets. So I've got all of the presets here, and I see what the algorithm is, and I see volumes, and in the lower end I convert them to Synclavier settings. And at the moment I've got it as values, and I'm going to write them straight away into a Synclavier file, so it's easy to export and import again. And just to let you hear how some of the sounds sound, this is a converted sound from DX7 that sounds a bit PPG-ish. I did have some extra effects added to it, so if I switch the effects on, you can hear how the sound normally would be. And I'll first solo one of them. So like that, solo the other one. And together, because they're slightly offset, it sounds like this. And when I change the effects on again, I get something like that. And let you listen to some of the other sounds that I did. DX7, let's see, this is PPG as well, volume 5. Okay, so a couple of the sounds that I'm working on, and most of the times I do need to work on the sounds a bit. But anyway, let's start off and making a fat synth pad today, and I'll do that by selecting my own sine wave, which the only difference really is that I've got some effects in there, so it sounds not as dull as the original. Okay, so what do we do to get some nice pads? The easiest way, obviously, is to take a modulator that has some saw wave already in it. So let's start there. So we'll go into the time slices, and let's see what we have. We've got one partial at the moment. I've got the volume a bit lower, and I'll try to add this part in the modulator for the velocity settings. So if I sort of set that in velocity on the volume part, it sort of combines that with the mixer settings in volume. So together you get your velocity setting. Let's first of all put some setting in here, and I'll put it at something like 256. And I'll set the setting for my modulator's wave as a saw wave, something like that. And now I can change the modulation setting here to make the sound that I'm after, and or otherwise I can at least set my envelope. First of all, to make an envelope for a pad, we need some attack in there, some slight slower attack as well for the amplitude setting as well as the harmonic settings, something like that. Yeah. Okay, and so maybe we need slightly less sustain here and some decay too. And you can see the dot that follows the attack, so maybe this is a bit too slow. And give some little release for the amplitude envelope as well. Let's see. I'll put the volume for the mic up a bit. Okay, so the release setting for the envelope is a bit too high now, and I can always change something by working on this part as well, by setting decay and release for and sustain for the and it's a bit too harsh to sound, so I go into the time slicer and change back my modulation level. And to give it a bit more life, I can go into my mixer and change the fine tuning for the partial, and I do that very gentle, very low value. But then it gets sort of vibrato in the modulator itself, and if I needed to have more of that kind of things going on in the modulator itself, like sort of vibrato, I can always go back out of my screen and into to these settings and select the actual partial that I'm working on and unlink the vibrato between carrier and modulator, and then I can give this a slight rate. Obviously this is so sorry for that. Actually, it's changing the vibrato for the vibrato for the modulator. So cool. That sounds great. But anyway, if I like the sound as it is, now all I need to do really is to thicken the sound. So the easiest way is going back into my screen again, add some chorus to the sound by changing this. And now actually all I need to do is to thicken it up. So add some, or copy the partials, paste them over, maybe change the octaves on some of them. So if I copy it about 4 times, for instance, select the partial, copy it, select the target, paste again on 3, paste again on 4. And now I got a whole bunch, and now I can change the pan for each of them. I do have to look at the volumes because the velocity setting is not coming along, so I need to set that. And go back into a mixer, change the pan for all of them. So I widen it up like this, and all I need to do then is change some of the tunings, just ever so slightly, so it thickens up even more. Change the fine tuning for all of them a bit, because that also adds to the broadening, widening. And it can do with some more release here and there, so I could set that higher if I wanted to, and obviously I could do something more with the effects, because it's still a bit too dry, and I can add some more delay to it, and that also broadens it. So like that. So well, I think that sounds like a pretty nice pad. I'll leave it at this point for now, and I'll be back shortly with some other stuff. Okay, see you then. Cheers. Bye bye.